All right, let's dive into the state of giving for 2025. We're going to explore the incredible generosity that fuels the nonprofit world, but we're also going to pull back the curtain on some critical challenges that are putting all that good work at risk.
So let's just start with a really big, kind of provocative question. What if the way we give is fundamentally broken? It's a heavy thought, I know, but it really gets to the core of what thousands of organizations are up against right now.
And to get a sense of the stakes here, you have to understand the scale we're talking about. In 2024, global charitable giving hit $2.3 trillion. I mean, that is just a massive, massive force for good in our world.
But, and this is a huge but, behind that incredible number, the nonprofit sector is actually facing a perfect storm. We're talking intense pressure, a serious problem with keeping donors around, and some deep-seated trust issues.
Okay, so let's break this down. First up, Part 1, the nonprofit pressure cooker. This is all about the high-stakes world these organizations are trying to navigate every single day. You know, what's so interesting here is how the pressure is coming from all sides. It's not just one thing. For starters, the donor base is getting shaky. Even among the wealthiest families, giving has dropped a full 10 points. Then you've got funding that you just can't count on. About a third of nonprofits depend on government money, and that's facing cuts and huge policy shifts. Internally, it's tough. Over half of leaders say they just can't pay competitively, and that really hurts their ability to get things done. And finally, you've got this anxiety around both tech and trust. Almost nobody has a plan for AI, and at the same time, almost 70% of donors are worried about their data getting hacked. It's a lot.
And all that pressure, it leads us directly into our next section, Part 2, the revolving door of donors. Honestly, this might be the single biggest leak in the entire system.
Okay, get ready for this number. It's pretty shocking. 19%. That's it. That is the percentage of first-time donors who actually come back and give a second time. Just 19. And this chart just puts it in such stark terms. I mean, look at that gap. You've got first-time donors way down here at 19%. But people who are already donors, they stick around at a much healthier 69%. So the problem isn't that people aren't generous. It's that the system is failing to build a relationship after that very first gift. And this is so important to understand. This isn't just some abstract number on a report. This is a real revolving door. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a giant hole in it. It undermines everything a nonprofit is trying to do. Just think about it, right? You can't build long-term sustainable programs when 8 out of every 10 new supporters just walk away. It's a massive leak. So what's causing that leak? Well, a big part of it is technology, which brings us to Part 3, bridging the digital divide. Because for a lot of organizations, tech isn't the solution, it's actually part of the problem. This donut chart really tells the story. You've got this small slice, only 19%, who are truly crushing it online, raising more than half their money that way. Then you've got this other slice, 11%, who are raising literally $0 online. And then there's that huge piece in the middle, the 70%, who are trying, but they just haven't figured out how to make digital work for them. They're kind of stuck. And with new tech like AI, that gap is just getting wider. Check out this comparison. 2/3 of the bigger nonprofits, we're talking budgets over $1 million, are already using AI tools. But for the smaller guys, it's only about a third. The rich are getting richer, technologically speaking, and the smaller organizations are really getting left behind. And why does this matter? Because all of it, the websites that are hard to use, the emails that feel totally generic, it all creates what we can call digital friction. It's an experience that feels clunky and impersonal, and it's literally pushing potential long-term supporters out the door. Okay, so we've laid out a lot of the problems, and it can feel a little grim. So what's the answer? Let's talk solutions. It's time for Part 4, the new rules of engagement. This is the new playbook for how to win in this totally changed landscape. I absolutely love this quote from an expert in the field because it just nails it perfectly. It's almost like dating. You wouldn't ask someone to marry you on the first date. For so long, fundraising was all about asking for marriage on that first date. The new way of thinking is all about building a relationship first. And this new model actually has a name, relational philanthropy. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It is a strategic shift away from just chasing those one-time transactional donations and towards building real, long-term, two-way relationships that are based on shared values. It's a huge change in mindset from how do I get a gift to how do I gain a partner. So how do you actually do that? Well, it really comes down to 4 key steps. First, you have to know your programs inside and out. Think of them like products in a store, so you can make really clear, compelling asks. Second, personalize everything. I mean everything. Use your data to ditch those generic email blasts. Third, show, don't just tell. Use real stories and real data to build that emotional connection. And finally, you have to make it a two-way street. Listen to your supporters. Ask them what they think. Build a real community, not just an email list. And a perfect place where this relational approach can be a game changer is with a group that often gets totally ignored: the mid-level donor. These are the people giving between $1,000 and $10,000 a year. They're the critical bridge to your major donors. But so often they're treated like they just gave 25 bucks. Can you believe that only 8% of organizations even bother to pick up the phone and say thank you? Simple things, a personal phone call, creating a special donor society, can make them feel so valued and build that pipeline for the future. It's relational philanthropy in action.
Okay, this all brings us to our final section, where we're going to pull all these ideas together. Part 5, Beyond the Donation Button.
This table just lays it out so clearly, doesn't it? The old way was all transactional, generic emails, one-size-fits-all asks. The new way? It's all relational. Personalized welcome messages, giving opportunities that are actually tailored to the person, and focusing on the donor's lifetime impact. It's about meeting people where they are, instead of forcing them to come to you.
And here's the thing. This shift isn't just a nice idea anymore. It's becoming an absolute necessity. With tax laws always changing, the purely financial reasons to give are shrinking for some people. And that means the donor's personal, emotional sense of connection and impact is more critical than it has ever been.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this: success in 2026 and beyond, it's not going to be measured in clicks or even in first-time gifts. It's going to be measured in connection.
And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. A question for every single person listening, whether you're a nonprofit leader, a board member, or just a donor who cares. Is your organization built for transactions, or is it ready for the relationship era?